Now I'd like to talk about what it is to be Pentecostal. Pentecostal is kind of an exciting thing for Christians. It does a lot more than if you just accept Jesus in a sinner's prayer and saying something like, Jesus, I believe you're the Son of God, and that God rose you on the third day, forgive me my sins and come into my life. A simple prayer like that, kind of get you saved. But there's more. Jesus will baptize you in the Holy Spirit if you ask. And there's many ways to get baptized in the Holy Spirit, and sometimes it takes a long time, and sometimes you're not even hardly thinking about it, and you get it. It's kind of exciting. It's not necessarily a system that you can do or plan or whatever, but there are many ways. And a common way is when you're at church that believes in being baptized in the Holy Spirit, they often will invite you up and lay hands on you and ask Jesus to baptize you in the Holy Spirit. And you could get it this way. You could be in a private place in your prayer closet, just anywhere alone, and just ask Jesus to baptize you in the Holy Spirit. Now you have to kind of really want it and really seek it and not give up if it doesn't happen right away, because it's just this way. To try to explain the various kinds of reason, it doesn't do that good, because the facts, again, what my TV program's all about is, hey, we got 2,000 years of Christianity. Why make a doctrine on something that we always love to make rules and list ways of doing things, but guess what? God doesn't necessarily care about your rules. Just people that want to seek Him. If you love Jesus, you can ask Jesus to baptize you in the Holy Spirit. Now, this baptism in the Holy Spirit isn't like being baptized in water, where somebody dunks you in water, sprinkles you, or whatever. I prefer the dunking. If you're going to be baptized, you're going to have to get buried and then get resurrected type of thing and raised from the dead. And that's what immersion type stuff is. You find some water, get plunged into it and lift it out, and that way get baptized. But there, and when you get saved, there are people that want to say that you get filled with the Spirit at that time, and to a degree there are some parts of this that is true, but baptism in the Holy Spirit is very, very different. In Acts chapter 2, it details how it started, and when you get it, though it's not necessarily specific in the Bible, the initial evidence is speaking in other tongues. Throughout Acts and any place in the New Testament that it talks about people received the baptism of the Holy Spirit, there was always the result of speaking in a language they didn't learn. Now, this language that you do not learn doesn't mean you will understand it. And there's something very interesting about this. It is not magic. It is not something that you wait to be zapped for. It is something that is 100% completely your will. You could just begin to speak in tongues, just like I'm talking to you right now. And instead of deciding what words to use, you just let the words come out. And you will find that you will be speaking in a different language. Now, sometimes it could be very dramatic. You can get slain in the Spirit. In other words, pretty well zapped, and down on the ground you go, and you can't do anything but speak in tongues. But a lot of the time it is simply you seeking God earnestly, asking Jesus to baptize you in the Holy Spirit. Once you receive this baptizing, anybody can, doesn't matter how old you are, young or old, you can get baptized, no matter what denomination you're in, doesn't matter what your denomination believes, you can get baptized in the Holy Spirit. So you just simply will discover as you go along that other things are involved here, because baptizing in the Holy Spirit makes you feel much more personal with Jesus. It feels like Jesus is inside you, and you'll find that that is so much closer than you have ever imagined possible. And many more things. Many of the miracles and gifts of the spirits that you read about will become part of your life. Prayers will get answered more in detail than you ever imagined. And there's so much more. So people ask Jesus to baptize you in the Holy Spirit. See you next week or next time.